Barking. 1.
I want to shoot the dogs that bark at me every morning, to explode their budding consciousness, to prove who's alpha without warning. Hard to believe that the barking of a few frustrated pets was remarked in the great barking arc that is San Francisco. Hard to believe an animal rights pacifist so readily, so greedily, chomped on the T-bone steak of violence. A mortal foe of the NRA drooled at the thought of firing, whether to scare, to scar, to maim, to kill. Hard to believe I credited a lover, ex-lover, for the transformation. Yet there it is in blue ink. A fine sample of the urges Joe taught me. I foolishly called them petty till I felt them in my own mind, struggling against my own leashes. Hard to believe? Nah, that part couldn't have been easier. He stood behind us and shouted, an aristocratic devil's coach. To the hounds, that leather is dead, you are living leather. And to me, scatter pups, scatter buckshot, scatter prepaid notions of yourselves. He was a great teacher, et est, a natural seducer. From the moment I lowered myself into his lipstick-colored Alfa Romeo, it was a constant struggle not to be swallowed by the white bucket seat, not to switch my birth certificate to the registration in the glove compartment, not to knit for myself the avenging ghost of Isadora Duncan's scarf. It may seem crude, but we cannot love a man if we hate his garb. He made such a fucking big deal about my ragged headwear, and to think I kept mum about his cock and balls like a braided loaf gone wrong in an amateur witch's oven. My fuck you cap came from a retiree, not kind but pitiful, who begged me to help him reenact Great Depression surrender in a boxcar. Joe's weirdly shaped genitals were the curse of a bitchy fairy godmother. 2. The club's seismic bass frees me to paste whatever words I wish on Joe's and his friends' lips. Every single day, double day, triple day, the add-ons are endless. I taste traces of poison on his chest and am driven to sniff out and lap up the rest. I'm not taking any lip from Stu till he springs for hip liposuction. Phil's going to tell you in one of 5 or 6 tones of voice that he gave the kid money by choice. Don't let on that you know about the knife. And they call me the anorexic one while they hang pea flags on him, pin garlands to his head, and dance around him on May Day. Wait a while and you may hear a lovely curse before you go. Lionize the past. Don't expect it to thank you. The moment Joe danced with the rhythmic sense of a cheap electric fan, I became the victim of my lies. For once my vocation as a lazy, see-through liar was a lifesaver. It was a relief like shifting into park forever, never again to polish, lick, or swallow his hood ornament. 3. Ziggy, the waitress, tells me it's Rosh Hashanah. Maybe, like my Korean students, she sees a resemblance to Woody Allen. The women at the big central table pit love matches against arranged marriages. Ziggy raps on the table with her Heinz 57 gavel. Both stand equal chance of failure, she snaps, quoting law books she used to pull impatiently from her lover's laps. Write about Ziggy at her worst, but don't assume she'll spank you. We invented chronic and acute waiting. Chronic tends toward patience, while acute is impatient. It's not always so. I've waited impatiently, for years, for the man who loves me to become a man whose lips could pick me out of a police lineup. A moment ago I started waiting, patient as a Catholic in Sligo, for my man's chewing face to fall on mine, a simulacrum of embrace. After every 2-egg special I wait forever for Ziggy to slap the check beside my open notebook. What impossible changes will I see? The gefilte fish her dad made her eat whenever cramps escorted her menstrual flow as though it were in the Talmud. The TP I stole. A daily rotation of water closets at the bank where my school rented 2,800 square feet of intensive English. Prophecies written by IBS, flushed unread. The guy from the health department who lingered for head after my STD interview audition. His eyes looked more, not less overworked when we were through. The inherited anti-Semitic tropes that sometimes ring like jingles in my head when I calculate Ziggy's tips. The energy I waste on time, flattering it, insulting it, trying to take it down a peg. 4. I dream I'm working in a car wash. I'm unabashedly humbled by all Alfa Romeos. They place their hard, scratchable bodies in my hands, happy to do anything, no act to sacrifice, if I can fit like the perfect trick between the driver and the wheel. My blood turning black at the thought of dogs we might run down, dogs I want to destroy before their barking alerts me to the hypocrisy that has crossed into our territory. Chamber. He prepares the wedding chamber with a razor, nicking the curtains once or twice, stopping clouds of powdery blood from venerable plaster walls with freshly laundered gym socks. He has everything Hymen demands except a hymen, and that, his delusion assures him, is being prepared in a place no one can pilfer, by a hand no one can lash. He readies the wedding head with combs so fine they part air from breath. With acne cream that unblemishes the pain of after-prom afterbirth, he anoints the wedding mouth. He eases open the wedding ass. He perfumes the door to the wedding lair with rose hips and aloe.